Well, my name is Michelle Holcombe. I'm a 31-year-old mother. I've had a 15-year addiction to drugs. Recovered. I grew up in a brick home, going to church with my grandmother, having a life that looked wonderful and great, and he was outside looking in. To start off, when I was 3 years old, a man that I thought was my father, he adopted me for the first time. And he molested me up until I was 8 years old. I realized that this wasn't normal. I told my mother, and we moved out immediately and moved to a neighboring town. She got a nice home and had a pool. I was still going to church. But she was always trying to buy my forgiveness. She would work 2 or 3 jobs, not realizing that I needed a mother at home. I didn't need the material stuff, I needed my mama. And she allowed a man to rent a house, the garage outside our house is a big garage. And not knowing that he was a drug dealer, he was one of the biggest drug dealers in the 3 counties around us. And he was also operating a chop shop in our backyard. Eventually, he forced me to use cocaine. And when he forced me to use the cocaine, he raped me and bragged that to me that if I wouldn't tell anybody, that he would just say I was crazy and on drugs. I was 12 years old when this happened. By the time I was 12 and a half, I was pregnant by him. This led to an abortion because I was so young. My mom and the judges thought it would be best if I had the abortion. In the end, when I did the blood test on the baby, he was the father, and they had charged him with 21 different charges against him. He ended up serving a lifetime in prison and died in prison. Amen. But before he died, God laid it on my heart to write him a forgiveness letter, to tell him that I forgive him. When I did that, it relieved me of a lot of things. And it wasn't 6 months later I found out that he died in the hospital after that. Due to my mom's overwhelming guilt from the abuse that I had my whole child life, she started using drugs as well. Eventually, we used drugs together. I was 13 years old and I met this boy and fell in love with him. And I talked my mom to let him move in with me. And he became mentally abusive to me. He was very obsessed with me. He was very jealous. He would come walk the halls at my school just to make sure I wasn't holding another guy's hand. Well, it was so bad that one night he chased me around my house with a gun and said that he was going to kill me because I was talking to some other guy, and I wasn't, but in his mind I was. The next morning, after that happened, I was just sick of it, so I went to my mom's bedroom, went to her gun cabinet, and got the gun out, sat down on her bed, and I held it to my head, kill myself. But he came in and took the gun away from my hand and put it up to his head, and he said, "No, Shell, this is how you do it." And he shot himself in front of me. So at this point, my drug addiction increased heavily. I continued to live a dual life though. I continued to go to church, I continued to make straight A's in school, on nights and weekends. I was partying, doing cocaine, smoking weed, drinking. I was 15 when he shot himself, so I was just getting my learner's license and hanging out with the wrong crowd. And I was just doing everything imaginable a person could do as far as drugs. And then God blessed me with my son, Jace. Jace saved my life at that time. I immediately, as soon as I found out I was pregnant, stopped using. Put myself back in church, became youth minister, director of Vacation Bible School, secretary of my church. I was very involved in my church. I started back going to college, got certified to teach pre-K, and I started teaching pre-K. I did really well, and however, I was still living in sin. I was living in sexual sin. Not married, got pregnant again with Aaliyah, my sweet little angel. And 6 weeks later, after she was born, she died of SIDS. My life to me at that point was unbearable. I didn't want to live. I didn't want to have anything to do with anybody. I gave my son to my mom. I just left, and this is where the Vacherin juice came in, the needles. I would shoot anything that would melt down the spoon, anything. And I would try killing myself with trying to overdose on drugs. God seemed fit that I somehow lived here on earth. Shortly after that, I found out I was pregnant with Brayden. I knew that there was no way my drug addiction was too strong for me at this point, and I knew there was no way I could quit using drugs. So I checked myself in a rehab in Georgia, and stayed there, got sober, got made at home, had Brayden. And I couldn't sleep at night after I had him because I was scared that he might die too. I had a heart monitor on him, I had a bed monitor, and I was still scared. So I went to the doctor and said I needed something to help me sleep. Well, he gave me a bunch of stuff to help me sleep. Too much, actually. And I would take that at night, and the next morning I'd be very drowsy, couldn't function. So I said, well, okay, this is what I'll do. I'll do meds in the mornings, take my pills at night. This should work. Before I knew it, I woke up my drug addiction. And one night, just left my kids with my mom. Jace can tell you, he remembers me going out the door. He says, "Mama, you left without even telling me goodbye." Well, my drug addiction was heavy. I was partying, I was making money, cooking dope. running wild. And one night I just got sick of it. I was sick and tired of living this life. I was so sick of it. I just didn't want to live that no more. I got on my hands and knees on August 24th of 2009. And I asked God for His forgiveness, and I begged and pleaded that He would save me from this. The next day, less than 24 hours, I was in a high-speed chase. And we got away from them. And the truck ran out of gas, so I jumped out of the truck and I ran for 4 hours. I thought I was out of the territory of the police. I didn't want to get locked up. That was not what I was asking. I was just asking for the addiction to go away. But I got out of the way, ran, and I was running over this hill, still running 4 hours later. Ran over this hill, and a cop was coming, an off-duty cop, was coming over the hill the other way with a bag of corn on his shoulders, filling his deer plot. And I ran smack into him belly to belly. He said, "What are you doing out here?" And I said, "Oh, I got in a fight with my boyfriend." I didn't know what to say. He said, "No, ma'am, that's not what's going on." And I just took everything out of my pocket and sat down. And I said, "Okay, you got me." So he took me back to where they were searching for me, and I was locked up. Immediately, I started going to church there. I started doing ministry. I even started leading Bible studies on Wednesdays with the girls in the Clyde. 9 months later, I went to court, and they said I could get out as long as I went to a rehab. So they allocated me here to the Loveladies. And they allocated me to the Loveladies, and at this point in my life, I knew my life had changed. I didn't want the drugs anymore. I was done with all that stuff. And I let God take control of me. Amen. Within 2 weeks of arriving at the Lovelady Center, I got a job working with Miss B in Summer County. That's a very challenging job. But I loved it. I mean, then I had purpose back in my life again. After the summer was over with, Miss Brenda and Melinda asked me to come to their house and teach their children. This right here was an honor to me. I was so blessed and so happy and excited for this opportunity to get to work with them. I knew then my life had changed forever.
Amen.
Amen.
Miss Brenda and Miss Melinda both have mentored me, they've helped me, they have molded me into the person I am today.
Amen.
Of course, I still got a lot of work, but they have taught me how to be a standout Christian. The Lovelady has helped me grow in so many areas of my life. I have finally left my past behind me. I am able to move on with my life, and recently I was married, almost a year ago. This marriage brought me a little girl, she's 10. So now I have 3 children.
Amen.
I'm blessed with more love than I could ever believe or even imagine that was possible through him, my children, the Lovelady Center. And today I can honestly say that God has truly blessed me with His grace and mercy. And I'm so thankful for all that He has allowed me to become.
Amen.
Now I'm honored to be working beside Miss Linda as her assistant, being able to tell God what He has done for me. And yeah, I guess that's it.
Worship to a song.